Hey y'all, welcome to Bikram Yoga Columbia. We're going to break down the difference between bridge lift for a bar class, like back dancing that we do towards the end, and then also when we come into bridges for yoga classes, and just the difference between when you're thinking about working your seat and your thighs in torch to work those little muscles, and when you're thinking about really getting into a back bend and using it in a different way. So both are awesome, both we need just a little bit different, and we wanted to break down those setups and how they should look so that you guys know how to do a perfect bridge in both classes. So Marie is going to help demo. We are going to start with the torched bar bridge because it's a little bit lower, and then we're going to show you the one for yoga, and then we're going to show you the difference and combine them both so you can really see the difference between the two. So when you're coming into bridge, you're going to be on your back. And one of the really important things is you want your heels all the way into your seat, and see how she can hold onto her ankles. You don't have to be all the way there because everybody's arms lengths are different, but I really want you to think about grazing at least the backs of the heels. That's how close in you want your heels up towards your hips. So you really think about hips or knees over ankles, maybe even a little further in because you're going to lift up and the legs are going to straighten out some. So for bar, we normally keep our arms down by our sides. So you're going to think about pushing down through your palms. So you're pushing your palms into the floor. You're pushing your heels into the floor. You're peeling your hips up so that the hip bones are tucking back. But then your rib cage stays towards the floor and you're using your core. So you're thinking about pulling your belly button in so that you get your hips off the mat, but it's not super high. So her quads are really engaged because we're working the tops of the quads. Her seat is pulled together because we're working the seat. So as she lowers her hips back to the mat, like we do in class, you lower down, you squeeze your seat, you squeeze the legs to lift back up about 6 inches to a feet, depending on your leg length. So you lower down, you squeeze, you lift up, but you don't go super high. So she's going to come back down. We're going to show you the one for yoga. So the feet, same thing. You step them all the way in. Arms are long. So for yoga, we might move our arms around. We might bring them under our back. You start there, though, just to get your body set up and find where you need to be. And then for yoga, you're going to push down through your heels, push down through your palms. You're going to peel your hips off. We're finding a back bend here. So see how she's getting her upper body as high up as she can, hip bones pointed towards the sky. We're working for back strength. So you're lifting more from your core and from your back muscles. You actually want to try to release the thighs, release the seat as much as you can so you can really focus on that core strength and lift from there to get as much of the spine off of the mat. So when you're all the way up, this is where you have the option. I'll do it from behind. She'll do it on her mat where you can roll your shoulders under. You interlace your hands and you extend your arms back. And this is getting that whole spine off the floor except for her neck. So you might, of course, use some of those muscles in your legs to keep you stable, especially if you're working on opening up the front of the body. But you're really focusing from the core and not from the lower part. So you can go ahead and release. Take a second. You roll all the way down. You can hug your knees into your chest if you want. She's going to string those two together so you can see the difference between that lower bridge for bar and that higher bridge for yoga. So go ahead and set up, feet all the way in, arms long, starting with the fingers grazing the backs of the heels, maybe a little bit more. Let's push down through our heels, push down through our palms, peel the hips up for torch, belly button pulled in, squeezing the seat together, squeezing those thighs. And then take a big breath and start to lift all the way up for yoga. Maybe you roll the shoulders under. Every part of that spine is included except for the neck, which is supported. Try to release the seat and thighs. Lift up a little more. And then staying where you are, we're going to release like we would in yoga. You're going to release the hands first. Let's roll the shoulders out. And then slowly start to peel the hips back to the mat. Once the hips touch, you can windshield wiper. You can hug the knees in. Take a little break. Feel good? That's the difference. Not lots, just different muscle groups being engaged for different parts of the class. Obviously, if you're in class and a teacher says in yoga that we're going to practice building some strength in that posture, that's not wrong. It's just different. And when we're using core strength, back strength, we think about those muscles. And torch, when we're wanting to torch our seat and thighs, we think about those muscle groups. I hope this helped you guys. I hope you use it in your upcoming classes. Let us know if you have any questions always. Have an awesome rest of your day.